They said he was just a stray, but no one knew the secret life Shadow the cat was living right under our noses. Shadow was just an ordinary black cat, or at least, that's what we all thought. He would disappear for hours, sometimes days, only to return with muddy paws and a mysterious look in his golden eyes. But little did we know, our quiet neighborhood was about to be shaken up by Shadow's secret adventures. Shadow used to be a regular visitor at our house, a stray, but he acted like he owned the place. Then one day, he vanished completely. My little brother, who'd grown attached to Shadow, was devastated. He couldn't understand why Shadow had left. Shadow had always been our companion, but he was also wild, unpredictable, and often wandered off for his secret adventures. We tried to follow him once, but he would always find a way to lose us in the shadows of the alleys. And then, one rainy night, he didn't come back. Days turned into weeks, and soon enough, we started to worry something terrible had happened. Weeks later, Shadow returned, but not in the way we expected. He was different, thinner, exhausted, and clearly hurt. There was a strange collar around his neck, one we had never seen before. My brother cried when he saw him, hugging him tight despite the mud and wounds. We couldn't understand what happened. Why was Shadow gone for so long? What was with that collar? Then, the real mystery began. Every time Shadow left the house after that, he returned with odd things, a child's toy one day, a shiny bracelet another. We started to wonder if Shadow was stealing, or if he was leading us somewhere. My brother, curious and determined to find out the truth, decided to follow Shadow one rainy night. I was scared, but I knew we had to go. Shadow led us through dark streets, down winding alleyways, past places we'd never dared to go. And then, he stopped at an old abandoned shed at the edge of town. Inside, we found something that took our breath away, a group of cats, huddled together in a corner, hiding from the cold. Some were hurt, others looked starved, and among them were kittens, small, fragile, and terrified. Shadow walked over to them, curling protectively around the smallest one, purring softly. My brother gasped as he realized the truth. Shadow had been taking care of these stray cats the whole time. He wasn't just a stray, he was their guardian, their hero, and he had been risking everything to keep them safe. Tears filled our eyes. Shadow, our adventurous stray, had a heart bigger than any of us could have imagined. He had been bringing them food, keeping them safe from the dangers of the city, and had even taken injuries for them. My brother knew we couldn't just leave them there, so we ran back home to get help. The next day, with the help of a local animal rescue, we managed to save every cat in that old shed. They were given shelter, food, and warmth. Shadow watched over them as if making sure they were safe, and my brother never left his side. After that night, Shadow didn't leave us anymore. He chose to stay, but he'd still visit his rescued friends every day at the shelter. My brother would go with him, watching as Shadow checked on each cat, purring and rubbing against them. He became a local legend, the stray who saved the other strays. We'd always thought Shadow was just a lonely, curious cat, but he had a mission far greater than any of us realized. Now, he had a real home, and he never had to sneak off to protect his friends alone again. Want to hear more incredible tales like Shadow's? Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, where we share heartwarming adventures every week.